How are you?
I'm very good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Great. So good to see you. So your character Becky in the show is so well written. She's intense. She's got so many sides to her. She even has a alter ego essentially. What was the process like in getting into character to play her?
It was a lot of prep, essentially. I had to, yeah, I had to know exactly what had happened to her throughout her life in order to be able to then chuck it away when we got on set and just let whatever needed to come out. I think that was for me the real turning point in knowing how to play with her on set, is that she comes to life when you have no idea what you're doing at any given moment. It's that kind of fear and anxiety and thrill and adrenaline that I think keeps her going. I think that is what she's chasing, is that high. So I had to do, yeah, all my homework beforehand, but then completely chuck it away when we got to set.
That's such an interesting and unique process. Now, you don't only play Becky, you also play Sasha, Becky's alter ego that she's created. How does playing Sasha differ from playing Becky?
Honestly, I don't think it does. I think the fascinating thing for me was knowing that that was Becky. Like we would have days on set where people would refer to it as Becky days or Sasha days, and I just didn't understand it. I was like, but it's one person. Like, and that was the fascination of the story and the character for me, was that this person exists within Becky, and we all have that potential within us. We, at any given event, we could turn up and say that we're someone we're not, and say we do things that we don't do. And I found those similarities, and the way that Becky bled into Sasha and Sasha into Becky, the really compelling thing to play. And just like I say, that fear of not knowing what is going to come out her mouth.
Absolutely. And that sort of brings us into my next question. Now, throughout this performance of yours, we see these cracks in this facade of this perfect social media world that Becky has sort of gained this infatuation or this obsession with. Now, this can honestly, unfortunately, be a reflection of real life these days. I think a lot of people relate to that and see themselves in Becky. What message do you want this theme to send to viewers? And what do you hope they can take away from it?
I hope that it highlights that social media is not the be all and end all of someone's existence. Like, I think there's a lot of pressure right now for to receive likes and receive followers, and actually what I pray that this show does is it kind of takes the sting out of those things, and it takes the shine off of it. And yes, yeah, of course we can go online and post these things that we're really happy to be doing, but also it's not a true representation of someone's life. It's not the full picture. Like, they're not showing the bad bits, and it's just as important to remember that life has its ups and downs, and all those things matter, and all those things are just as important to making us who we are.
Absolutely. I think a lot of people really need to hear that. So I love it. And I love the theme of this, through this thrill and this excitement, we also have these really human conversations. Now, how did you see
Yeah,
your character progress and change as the series goes on? She goes through a lot. How does that manifest itself on screen?
I think what you see with Becky is she's so desperate to escape from who she is, and she has no self-worth and no relationship with herself at all. She is genuinely just running away from who she is. And I think over the course of the show, you see her start to be at peace with her situation, with her mum, but also with who she is as a human being. And she becomes less judgmental about the things she does, and she is battling with herself less. And there's still so far to go. Like, I think what I love about the show is it's not going, oh, and now she's a example for everyone. Like, I think she's still a very complex human being at the end, but she's definitely further along the line towards understanding why she behaves the way she behaves, which is all we can really ask for, I suppose. Understanding.
This show is so good. It's so exciting. It's so thrilling. And one of my favorite things about it is that it opens up this conversation that a lot of people might be dealing with currently, this obsession with this picture perfect Instagram life. And I think a lot of people can sort of relate to that nowadays. What do you think viewers can take away from Becky's obsession with this picture perfect life?
I think I don't know about you, but I feel like this Instagram obsession, perfect life, has kind of crept up on us. Suddenly, I feel like there's this, kind of a pandemic of wanting to look perfect because of Instagram, and I think people will probably recognize themselves, reluctantly maybe sometimes, in Becky, Sasha, her actions and the way that she I suppose, communicates with social media. And I think, I think some people's relationship with social media is quite tentative or destructive. And in our show, we cover that. So I think it might make people feel uncomfortable, actually. I haven't thought about that. They might be like, oh my God, that's me. That's me, that kind of thing.
That's important, this pushing of the envelope and making sure people understand that. Now tell me about Livia and tell me about Josh. What can viewers expect to see from them as the series progresses?
Yeah, from Josh, you can definitely, Josh is the audience's voice into what's going on into the world of Chloe. So from the very jump, I think a lot of the questions and concerns and ideas and philosophies that, the audience may come up with, Josh has taken that same road every single time Becky, Sasha makes a turn, So that's what you can expect from Josh, is to take the audience along with the ride of each episode.
I think you can expect from Liv some energy and some laughs, maybe along the way, some great clothes and shoes, and like someone that you might want to be friends with.
Yes.
I love that. Now, Brandon, you talk about Josh sort of being this almost voice into the audience. What did you find that your process was like, script to screen, in capturing this sort of voice to the audience? I feel like that's a very unique process.
No, it is. And honestly, I'll be completely frank with you. It's Alice's writing. I did much of, I wouldn't say nothing, but Alice did all of the legwork. She put it all on the page. And then on top of that, gave us the freedom to play within the boundaries that she created and even break some of those. So every single character, not just Josh, but every single character in their rightful place is working to make sure that the story propels to the very end and be captivating.
You guys both do such an incredible job of that. I think that's what makes the show so authentic, is not the connection of these real life issues to people like us.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love that. Now, this show is so thrilling. It's exciting. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. What was your favorite part about the filming process?
I think we shot this during COVID and we all didn't meet until we were on set. And I think that was quite strange, firstly, because it was just a very unique circumstance. But I think getting to taking a Zoom rehearsal and then suddenly being on set and actually it being really lovely and not weird was the best thing. And also we just all really got on. We were like a little family, and it makes such a difference when you go to work and you really enjoy working with the people that you're working with.